Hi guys, Mr. Pease again. Welcome to week 4, session 2 of your remote learning for English. So reminder, we're going to look at a poem today, and there are some blocks of prose as well. So if you are struggling to read the text, then please copy and paste the text into the web link there, TTS Reader, and press the play button and it will be able to play it for you. So today we're on session 2, which is the reading of the text. We did our Memory Monday and recapped on the previous skills, beginning to embed the skills we've been learning recently. So now we're going to focus on a poetry text today. So the poet is Phoebe Hesketh, who was born in Lancashire to a father who oversaw the first department of radiology in Britain, and a violinist mother and a Helle orchestra. Impressive. Hesketh was a talented poet and wrote 16 collections before her death at 96 years old in 2005. We're going to read a poem she wrote about a girl who was about 12. It's about what she is like at school and home and what her parents think of her. So before we begin, there are some tricky words in there that we need to know. The first one is elusive. Brilliant word. Sounds wonderful. Elusive. Which means difficult to describe, find, achieve, or remember. So with that definition in mind, difficult to describe, find, achieve, or remember, which sentence below uses the word elusive correctly? A, no matter how often she asked herself the question, the answer remained elusive. Or B, she knew the answer, it was elusive. Number 2, can you think of a time you might have been elusive? And number 3, come up with 3 synonyms for elusive. We'll go for the answers to the vocab tasks at the end of the session. Another word, delve. Present tense, you could say delving, which means to search, especially as if by digging in order to find a thing or information. So it's about that idea of kind of digging deep for something. Look at this example sentence. He tried to delve inside his memory for clues about what had happened. So that's good. It's a nice example because you can see it's almost like he's digging deep into his memory banks to try and work out what's happened for whatever has happened. Also, do you think delve is an adjective or a verb in the way that it's used? Is it an action or does it describe or modify a noun? 2, can you think of 3 antonyms, words that mean opposites, for the word delve? Oh, antonym spelt wrong. Whoops. Number 3, can you use delve in a sentence? Okay, so here's the poem that we're going to focus on this week. Sally by Phoebe Hesketh. She was a dog rose kind of girl, elusive, scattery as petals, scratchy sometimes, tripping you like briars. She teased the boys, turning this way and that, not to be tamed or taught any more than the wind. Even in school the word ought had no meaning for Sally. On dull days she'd sit quiet as a mole at her desk delving in thought. But when the sun called, she was gone, running the blue day down, till warm hedgerows prickled the dusk and moss flickered out. Her mother scolded, Dad gave her the hazel switch, said her head was stuffed with feathers and a starling tongue. They couldn't take the shine out of her. Even when it rained, you felt the sun saved under her skin. She'd a way of escape, laughing at you from the bright end of a tunnel, leaving you in the dark. Okay, so, poem about Sally. An interesting go. So to build up your understanding, there are several comparisons that the writer makes. The first one calls her a dog rose. Okay, it's a plant and it has thorns. The second, she's tripping you like briars. So a prickly shrub is what a briar is, a bit like brambles really. If you scold someone or someone is scolded, they are told off. And a starling, also in the second stanza of the poem, is a bird that is known for being lazy. Sorry for being noisy. Okay, so a bit more consolidation. What I'd like you to do is read the 6 statements and then just write down whether they are true or false. Okay. Number 1, the poem is about a girl called Sally. True or false? Number 2, 3 good words to describe Sally are stable, controlled, and knowable. True or false? Number 3, Sally was well behaved at school. True or false? Number 4, Sally loves being outside. True or false? Number 5, Sally never got in trouble with her parents. True or false? And number 6, Sally was badly affected by the way others treated her. True or false? Like the vocab, we'll go for the answers at the end. Just pause the video briefly now and just add your true or false to those 6 statements. Okay, so optional extra for people keen to do more. Right, poetry in more depth. So you feel like you want to delve into the poem a little bit more? Please do. Things you can do. Number 1, you can put it in your own words. You can read the poem 2 or 3 times by just going back through these slides. You'll see something different each time you read the poem. Write a brief summary of it in your own words. Highlight or list some of the words, nouns, verbs, phrases that are important to understanding the poem. Number 2, a question to develop your understanding. What can you infer about Sally from the poem when the poet says they couldn't take the shine out of her? Number 3, symbolism of light is frequently used to describe Sally. Why do you think this is? Okay, pause the video now if you want to go through those optional extras. Also, you can take the time to consider the what and how of the poem. It's about your own personal thoughts, so really don't panic if you're a bit uncertain. Just keep delving, keep digging deep, trying to work it out. You'll see on this slide are some good ways, good prompt questions to develop your thoughts on the poem itself. Okay, pause the video now if you want to go through them. In a few seconds, we're going to go through the answers to the vocab and the true or false. Answers. Elusive, which means difficult to describe, find, achieve, or remember. Number 1, the correct answer was A. No matter how often she asked herself the question, the answer remained elusive. So that suggests it was difficult to remember or difficult to find in her memory banks itself. She couldn't quite work it out, so it's an elusive thought for her. Number 2, can you think of a time you might have been elusive? Well, that's a big question, really. You might have written about a time you gave somebody vague information when they asked you a question, or about an animal that was very difficult to spot, or something else that is relevant to the definition. I always think of animals that are difficult to spot, like snow leopards, or something like that. And they are elusive to people. Number 3, come up with 3 synonyms for elusive: misleading, puzzling, or slippery, but there are more. So you can check that link there if you want to work out a few more. Okay, thesaurus.com. Good website. Vocabulary Part 2, delve. Okay. Delve is a verb. It's an action because you're searching for something itself. It's an action that you enact. 3 antonyms, opposite words for delve: scratch, rake, skim. What they all have in common is they're quite superficial. There's no sense of digging deep, and deepness is a part of delve itself. Scratching, raking, or skimming is just looking at the surface. Okay. Can you use delve in a sentence? He had to delve in his pocket to retrieve his watch, or whatever. Okay. All right. Whatever you did, it's about the idea of searching for something, be it something abstract like information or something specific or precise like an object. True or false? Number 1, the poem is about a girl called Sally, so that's true. Number 2, stable, controlled, and knowable do not sound like the character in this poem, so that is false. Number 3, Sally was well behaved at school. That's false. We can infer that she actually didn't listen very well and was a little bit naughty. And number 4, Sally loves being outside. True, she runs with the sun, in essence, is what the poem suggests. 5, Sally never got in trouble with her parents. It's false. The verb is scolded is used by the mother. And the father says some critical things of her. Number 6, Sally was badly affected by the way others treated her. This is false. She seemed to not care at all, in fact. Okay. That's the end of session 2, guys. Any questions, do let us know. Look forward to seeing you again next session.